Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Hockey, TITTH number 210. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I have my co-host, Nick Olzak, with me this evening. Happy Tuesday, sir. How are we doing?
Good. Ready to dive back into some hockey. Been a couple weeks since I've been on the Hizzy, but I'm ready to get back to it and talk some hockey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nick was here with me over the holidays, visiting with family. But how was the rest of the the Thanksgiving weekend?
Definitely
take advantage
good.
of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, anything like that?
Got a little bit of Black Friday shopping done.
Nice.
I had some fun for sure watching those games on Black Friday, the NHL games, specifically that Rangers-Bruins game. That was a really good one until about the third period for me because I was leaning heavy on Boston that game. But I was loving that paddle save Jeremy Swayman had, I will say, in that game.
Can't hate it. Can't hate on that. Did you start him in fantasy that day or something, or what?
I did start him in fantasy, and it was looking really good until about the third period when Boston just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it happens. Hey, Roy. What's up, bud? Welcome to the show. If you guys haven't already, be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/Take It to the Hizzy. Yeah, I didn't really do any shopping. I did all my shopping for Black Friday at the beginning of the month. It's like need a new computer. Couldn't wait till Cyber Monday, so I had to pull the trigger early. But let's jump into the show here. First up, we're going to go over some of our best props. Seems like Nick and I are on the same page here. I am going with Ryan Hartman with at least 3 shots on goal. I went to this prop about, 2 or 3 weeks ago, cashed in the first period, going back to the well for more with Hartman tonight. He is 9-2 in his last 11 games to this prop, and Nick is tailing this line 1 from Minnesota as well. What do you got, Nick?
I got Kirill Kaprizov with Minnesota tonight, hitting 3+ shots tonight because he's hit this number in 10 of his last 11 games. And they're playing a team like Arizona while Minnesota's hot. They're on a 4-game winning streak playing a team like this. I think this should be easy prop to hit. Yep,
and there's always been a lot of opportunity for scoring with the Minnesota Wild. They are a top 5 offense in the league, and they are trending, going over in their games. Their last 6 games, the over has hit 5 times. So a lot of opportunity for Nick and I tonight, riding the Minnesota Wild. I got Hartman. He's got Kaprizov. Should be solid. Like I said, the last time I went in a Hartman on his shot goal prop, he hit it in the first period. It was nothing but cash right away. So let's take it to the Hizzy. Let's smash those numbers, and let's get to it. First up here, we're going to be going through our monkey knife fight props. First up, we have goaltender saves for Jordan Binnington versus the Tampa Bay Lightning at home. His number is at 27.5 saves. And then Victor Hedman alongside him, he needs to hit at least 1 assist in this game. So the under and over for both, Nick. What do you got?
For Binnington, I'm going to go with the over. I think playing a team like Tampa, he's going to face a lot of shots. He's going to see a lot of pucks. Tampa, they've got a really good offense behind there. And with Hedman, this was a hard prop to go with, but I'm going to go with the under on this one because he's 4-7 in his last 11 games with this prop. And I just don't think he's going to hit it tonight against a team like St. Louis, which is also a good hockey team. So I think you'll have a good game here.
Yeah, but St. Louis is trending in the wrong direction right now. They're 3-7 straight up in their last 10. And across Binnington's last 7 games, he's only hit this prop 4 times, and he's 2-5 in his last 7 games. So he's been slumping a little bit, coming off a big fat loss to the boys. Had a 2-goal lead, blew that, went to OT, blew that. Thanks, Binnington. Appreciate you, brother. I'm going with the under for him. He's just been, hot and cold on this number. I'm going to take the under here. I'm going to say that the Lightning bury, maybe even 3 to 4 tonight. I like them. And then Victor Hedman, that being said, plenty of scoring opportunities. In his last 7 games, he's also 4-3 to his number. He's been going kind of back and forth, but I'm going to say tonight he gets it. Just give me the assist. I wish this was just like a point, like over half a point. He hasn't been scoring goals, but even then I'd feel better about it just because I have that extra opportunity. Like, okay, he doesn't get the assist. He gets a random goal, like a tip shot or something like that, or a deflection. Right. So I'll take the over, but I don't love it. My confidence level isn't like super high on that. And again, it's just like an assist. Like, you can breathe and get an assist in the NHL. All right, next up we have Rupee Hintz versus Vincent Trochek in their matchup tonight, Stars and Hurricanes. We're looking at total fantasy points. Hintz's number is at 4.5, and Trochek is at 3.5. I think the trends just simply tell us here, you go to the over for Hintz and the under for Trochek. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I was doing a little bit of research myself before this, and Vincent Trochek's been ice cold his last 3, 4, even 5 games. So I really don't see him hitting this number. And as for Roope Hintz, he's hit it in his last 8 of 9. So I think that's a lock right there. So yeah, give me over on Hintz and under on Trochek.
I have him at 6-2 in his last 8. However, that manages out. But yeah, Hintz has been rolling. We're going to be talking about him at the back end of our show in our buy or sell segment. So definitely look out for that. And like Nick said, Vincent Trochek, super cold. I have him at 2-10 in his last 12 to go over the 3.5 fantasy points. I'm not touching him, and give me the over on Rupee Hintz. All right, let's jump into our Tuesday night game previews. Got some good action tonight. We already have some action going. We will get to the live betting at the end of the show. First up, action that has not started yet. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets traveling to Nashville, coming in as road dogs, plus 1.5 on the spread, plus 136 on the money line. And the over-under is at 5.5 goals. I am leaning towards the over in this one, but what do you like about the game and the total, bud?
I actually like the over as well because Nashville in their they've hit it 6 of their last 9 games. And so I think playing a team like Columbus, even if Columbus has a good game, they score some goals, it could be a back and forth game. I still think we'll see the over nonetheless on this game.
Yeah, and Columbus as well, trending in a positive direction to the over. They are 10-2 in their last 12, so a lot of opportunity there for the over. What do you like on the game? You think we're going to keep it close? Can the Blue Jackets cover? Do the Preds blow them out of the water? What do you like here?
I think you're looking at a close game. I think you'll probably be looking at, like a 4-2, 4-3 kind of hockey game.
Yeah, I like the Blue Jackets to cover. So my favorite pick of the 6 here is the plus 1.5 on the spread for the Blue Jackets. They are 12-7 ATS this season. That puts them pretty close to the top 10 in the league, if not even closer to top 5. The league leader, I believe, is still the Anaheim Ducks at 18-4. I'm riding that pick tonight as well. So I like the Blue Jackets to actually win outright. I like the plus 136. They've been playing very well recently. Both teams have been trending to the over, so I do like the opportunity for the over 5.5 as well, which is paying plus 100 here. Let's see. Columbus ranks 9th in the league for total goals scored and 16th in goals against. Nashville, they rank 20 for goals scored and 22nd for goals against. Does that information push you either direction for like a clear winner here?
I mean, yeah, I think Columbus could definitely pull this one out too. I think, like you said, they're trending in a positive direction, but I think, like I said, Nashville's going to keep it close, and it's not going to be an easy win if Columbus does take it.
All right, so I like the Blue Jackets at plus 1.5. What's your best pick there as far as the money line or the spread?
I'll take, Blue Jackets money line there.
Okay, sounds good. All right, next up we've got the Tampa Bay Lightning traveling to St. Louis, coming in as road dogs, plus 1.5 on the spread, plus 120 on the money line, and the over-under is also at 5.5 goals. This one I'm leaning to the under, but what do you like here?
I could agree with the under because, St. Louis is just not in a positive direction, and I think Tampa will still keep it close with St. Louis, and so I see the under here, looking at probably like a 3-1 game most likely, and and I like Tampa to win this game outright because, like we talked about earlier, St. Louis is on a negative pattern right now, and I don't see any reason why Tampa shouldn't take this one. The only thing I see in St. Louis's favor is Tampa is starting Brian Elliott tonight, not Andrei Vasilevsky. So that's the only thing that you could put in St. Louis's direction, I think, for tonight.
I still think Tampa takes care of business. I think the plus 1.5 is a lock. I like the score 3-1. I like a 4-1 game as well. Give me the Lightning. Give me the under, and I'll take the Lightning to cover as well. But those first two options are on the plus side of things. The Blue Jackets and the Lightning. Those are in my opinion, higher confidence picks. I feel really good about those. All right, next up, we have Arizona traveling to Minnesota. Coyotes taking on the Wild. Arizona coming in as road dogs, plus 1.5 on the spread, plus 310 on the money line, and the over-under is at 6 goals even. Kind of surprising with the Coyotes in the game that you'd have a 6-goal total, but they've been trending to the over as well. I guess they didn't hit it yesterday. They have hit the over. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the opposite. Minnesota was the 5-1, and Arizona's 4-1 to the under in their last 5. My bad. They do rank 31st in the league in total scoring, so I guess that should be clue light bulb. Justin, love Minnesota here. Just taking them on the money line. The over is not ideal, but I think we can hit like a 5-3, 4-2 game. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the over too on this one because I know Minnesota is a good hockey team. They have one of the best offenses in the league, so I think they're gonna bury some pucks on the Coyotes. And I do like Minnesota money line here. I think that's just a lock for how well they've been playing. and
Right.
Arizona's team as a whole.
You're not getting the best value on it. Big favorites at home, the Minnesota Wild minus 357 on the money line. Put that into some other action, maybe another spread that you like, or, maybe a really close matchup that you like that you feel really confident in. Minnesota should take care of business easy. If they don't, I'm going to have a big problem with the Coyotes. They put one in my eye last night up against Winnipeg with that 1-0 win. I ain't having it. But I do like them playing in back-to-back games because they're terrible. That's awesome for me. All right, next up we have the Carolina Hurricanes coming into Dallas, taking on the Stars as road favorites, minus 1.5 on the spread, minus 102 on the money line. The over-under is at 5.5 goals. And actually, there is no upset pick here. The Dallas Stars are also laying even money at minus 108 on the money line. So the books have this one nice and tight. What do you like, Nick?
I like Dallas in this one. Carolina, they're kind of going on a downward trend here. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Dallas is on a 4-game winning streak. They're trending upward. And so, yeah, I think for that reason, Dallas is going to take it. But I think it's still going to be a close game, too. Because, again, Carolina's a good team. They're just kind of not in their stride right now. But I think they pick it back up and keep it even. I think you were looking probably, like a 3-2 game tonight.
Yeah, Dallas Stars have figured it out. I agree with you. Robertson, Hintz, they've been rolling. Their offense is coming along recently. I do like the what did I have here? I had the under in this one. I think that both of these teams have been playing very well, like you said. Hurricanes, they've dropped some games recently, but they're still 9-3 on the road in their last 12 games. Dallas Stars 5-0 in their last 5 at home here. So there's a lot of upside for both teams. I say we get a nice tight matchup. Give me the under 5.5. I could see a 2-1, 3-1 game either direction, but I still really, really like the Dallas Stars at the plus 1.5. I'm getting home dogs here. I'm getting a goal back. I really like that pick. It's at minus 275. So that's just as close as the Wild just winning outright up against the Coyotes. Right. I feel very, very safe with that pick. Would you prefer the spread with something else, maybe a pick that we mentioned earlier, or would you ride the Stars or Hurricanes money line?
I would ride the Stars money line just because of how hot they're being. I think that pick is a lock for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say you were cutting out, but no, I think Stars money line is a lock tonight, and I think, like we said, it's gonna be a close game, but I think overall Dallas is gonna win that one outright.
All right, sounds good. I'm with it. Hurricanes have been a very profitable team for me this year, but I like the Stars more so recently. All right, I'm talking about profitable here. The Anaheim Ducks have just been making cash over a fist for me, or at least keeping me above water for all my bad picks. Right, Anaheim Ducks coming into Los Angeles plus 1.5 on the spread. Road Dogs plus 112 on the money line, and the over under is at 5.5 goals. I love the Ducks to cover. I love the Ducks to win. I don't really need to play the total here. I just feel very confident in the Ducks. But what do you think about the 5.5? And do you think Kings over the Ducks or what?
Oh, I'm losing you, I think. Oh, I think I'm losing you a little bit.
Did you hear me on the Ducks versus Kings?
Yeah, I heard you. I think that this will be a close game. I do like I think I'll take the over on this one. I think there'll be a lot of scoring in this one, but I actually think that LA, they will take this game tonight, and I think it'll be a close one for sure because LA, they've also been hot. Anaheim's been hot. This is a really tough matchup to pick out. I think you have 2 offenses that we didn't really expect necessarily to kind of come in the league and do really well, but they are, and they're doing well for themselves, like Anaheim with guys like Troy Terry stepping up. And yeah, I think that LA all the way and on the over.
I love the under. 8-4 in their last 12. The Ducks to the under. Kings 13-6. That's not the greatest trend, but I think the Ducks set the pace here, and they're going to drive the number down. So give me the Ducks there, and I'll take the under 5.5. All right, moving on. We're going to jump into our fantasy waiver wire segment here. Before we do, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, fantasy waiver wire. First up, we have Dimitri Orlov. Not the deepest find here in fantasy. He's 50% rostered. So, people have made some daylight on him. But his production recently is pretty solid. A goal and assist in his last game. Had nothing the game before that, but at least like 3 shots on net. That gets you some points. And then a goal and assist just 3 games ago. He's starting to get the pucks to the front of the net. The blocks are kind of, here and there, touch and go. He plays on the line too with Nick Jensen, gets power play time on the second unit. Pretty solid pickup to me, Nick. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's a good pickup. I don't think he would be a long-term guy. I don't think this production is going to last forever. But I
Mhm,
also do like him kind of as just kind of a grab and go guy. And I also do like his schedule coming up. His next 2 games being in Chicago and
mhm,
Columbus. So I think if you have him on your fantasy team, he'll be able to put up numbers, especially in the next 2 games. But I don't see
mhm.
him though being long-term hold.
I gotta see if there's some tickets available for that game. It's like 2 days away, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, actually, I
Maybe
have
I'll
a
fly out.
no, I got a pod to be on that night. I'm gonna guest on somebody else's. My bad, my bad. Yeah, I think Orlov's a solid ad. Like I said, getting line 2 time, getting power play, second power play unit, excuse me. And he's playing a lot of minutes, man. 21, 21, 23 games prior to that, 17 and 17 and 20. So there's been some increase opportunity in his opportunities these past 3 games. If that trend continues going forward, I think he's a guy you can own every night. All right, next up, we have a couple of New Jersey Devils. We have Jesper Bratt and Andreas Johansen.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Janssen.
they play on the same line together. They play on line 2 together. They also both play on the second power play unit, but Bratt is at the point on the second power play unit, so he gets more opportunities for shots. Just 3 games ago, he had 7 shots on goal. Janssen doesn't have a total like that through his last 10 or 11 games or so, but both have been on a great scoring run. So just to review, Bratt, his last 3 games, a goal and 2 assists. No goals and an assist. No goal and assist. No goal and assist. That was actually 4 games. For Janssen, his last two goals and 2 assists his last game. The game prior, a goal and an assist in that game. So a lot of production his past couple of games here, but the Devils, they're kind of a hot and cold team here. Are these guys that you're like willing to anchor on your roster in fantasy, or are they just, going out for a nightly bite, drop and go on your roster?
Yeah, I think they're good drop and goes. I think as of right now, Janssen looks like he could, depending. Like I like him playing San Jose. I think he'll do well
Mhm.
against Minnesota because New Jersey seems like one of those teams that they can kind of just come out and steal a win. Like we've seen it even against like Florida. They pulled out a
Mhm.
7-3 win against one of the top teams in the league a few weeks
Right.
back. But no, I think these guys are add and drop. But for the moment, I would definitely grab them if you're available in your league because yeah, you look at a guy like Jesper Bratt, only
Mhm.
29% rostered, and Andreas Johnson only 14% rostered. So I think there's a lot of upside there just for the sole purpose they'll be available in your league, and I think yeah, if
Mhm.
they're available, you should snag them.
You've got room for one. Which one do you go with?
If I got room for one, I'm going with probably Jesper Bratt. Just for
Agreed.
the sole purpose, he's getting a little bit more ice time. Um, I mean, you look at Janssen, he's leaning towards 14, 15
Mhm.
minutes, 13, 12. Well, Bratt's getting, 18. I know this game against Minnesota, he got 21 minutes, 18 minutes,
Mhm.
18 minutes, a couple close to 16 minutes. So, yeah, I would just go for that just for the sole purpose of ice time because they're both really even players. So, I think you have to find something to differentiate them.
Yeah, and Bratt has at least 1 point, and he has
hmm
multiple games with multiple points, but he has at least 1 point in 8 out of his last 10 games. So he is just a better trending player right now, and definitely more consistent. I think playing on that on defense on the power play unit gives him more opportunities to get shots on net, or at least just
Right.
more deflections. Looks to the front of the net. All right, cool. So next up, we have Ryan Johansen of the Nashville Predators, only 21% rostered. Another guy that's just on a great run. He has points in his last 5 games. Across that stretch, he has 3, 4, 6, 8 points across his last 5 games. He's been on a tear. The minutes aren't there, but man, he's racking up assists in bunches. I think he's a guy that you can hold on to. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you can hold on to him too. I would like to see his ice time go up if you were going to hold on to him. But yeah,
Mhm.
I think if he keeps putting up this kind of production like that, then I think
Yeah.
then he's someone that you can definitely hold on to on your roster. And even when Nashville's losing, like you see a couple games they lost 6-2 to
Mhm.
Colorado and a 5-2 loss, he's still putting up points. Like you see an assist there and then another assist. And so I think because of that, with his continued point scoring, I think yeah, he's someone you hold on to until he starts to dry up.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Next up, we have Alex Goligoski of the Minnesota Wild. Very consistent. Like the production isn't like out of this world, but he's not
Mhm.
going negative. He's constantly above water in the plus minus column. He's not really getting a lot of shots on net, but the blocks are there. I don't know. 25, only 25% rostered, but when you look at just the point production, 4.8, 14.9, 2, 10, 6, 24.8, like those are solid. There's no negative nights. There's nothing less than one. I say you got to own him. I think this is a guy that you just lock right into your roster.
Yeah, I think for right now he's definitely a lock, especially with how hot Minnesota is. But
True.
and it's funny because he actually has been kind of getting passed around our league a little bit, and he's sitting on waivers right now. But I already know a couple people are going to make a claim on him because the numbers are there for him. He's never really sitting in the negative like you see with a lot of defensemen. So I would grab him and I would hold him.
I think he's a solid ad. I would own him right now if he wasn't in waivers. That's for certain. I think you would know that. How'd you like getting back to the central time zone? A little behind, huh?
Yeah, a little behind. Because in our league you can start making moves at 2 a.m. but over on the East Coast it's 3 a.m.
I think it's 4 a.m. here at my time.
No, it's 3 a.m. That's when I started making moves.
Well, I'm not up at 3. I'm up at maybe 5 at best, but still, I know it's 4. It's all good. All right, moving on here.
And
We've got
you play in a competitive league like ours. I was gonna say when you play in a competitive league like ours, it's always important to be up early like that because there's a lot of players for ad drop that you got to get on right away.
Same goes for fantasy basketball because it's like a very similar waivers process. So yeah, like the first thing I'm doing in the morning is taking a shit and adding players. That's some people have coffee. I take poops and add fantasy players. That's what I do. All right, next up we've got Michael Bunting of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't understand this. 15% rostered. 15% rostered. These last handful of games, just doing the points. 15.7, 11.5, 16.7, 6.9, 1.8, 4.9. He's now playing on line one with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. It's inexcusable for him not to be owned right now. Another guy that's in waivers, you better look out tomorrow morning because he's going to be on my team for sure, whether he's got a game that night or not. Actually, he does play tomorrow. He's got the Colorado Avalanche on the book. So probably want to go grab Michael Bunting tomorrow morning, ASAP Rocky. The shots on net, way up. I'm assuming this is when he got into the top line. But last 3 games, 3, 5, 3, a block a piece in each of those games. Positive, above water, +1, +1, +2, +1. 4 straight assists in 4 straight games, and he has 2 goals across those 4 games. He's going to be mine. Oh, Michael Bunting, he will be mine. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think he's someone that you grab for sure because, like we said, he's playing on that top line, and it's showing that he's playing on that top line. A player that's kind of similar to that I picked up for my fantasy team personally is Zach Kassian because they moved Puljujärvi down to the third line, and they put Kassian up to the first line. In the first game he's on that line, he puts up 3 points against the Golden Knights for 22 fantasy points. And then the next game he still puts up an assist. But yeah, playing with guys like that, like whether it's Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, Draisaitl, McDavid, whoever you're playing with, the better the players are around you, it's going to help you play better. And so, yeah, I think as long as he's playing on that line, I definitely would hold him for now.
He's still also playing on the second power play unit as well. So he's not playing alongside those guys for the power play opportunities, but he is still getting that extra ice time. So a lot of opportunity there for Michael Bunting. All right, lastly here, we got my guy, Jake Ottinger of the Dallas Stars, absolutely on fire. He has won 3 straight starts. Well, actually 4 straight starts. I'm sorry. He had a night off, so he didn't get 4 straight starts. 32, 21, 35, 28 saves across that spread. In his last 3 games, he's only allowed 1 goal a game, and his 4th game ago, he allowed 2. Absolutely on fire. High percentage ownage as far as like our waiver wire goes. He's at 46%, but that's a coin flip. If he's available, lock him down and do not drop him until he gives you a massive reason to do so. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. Just the numbers are there, like you just said. Like he's winning these games. He's not really getting scored on that much. The only thing that kind of scares me down the long run is this weird system they're running in Dallas with goalies. Like they have Holtby, Hudobin, and Ottinger. Ben Bishop could come back sometime this year. Like it could create some issues down the road. And I think as long as he's staying above those guys, then yeah, I say hold him and stick with him until he gives you a reason not to.
Well, Dallas plays great defense in general. You know, they have a top 10 defense. They just don't put up a lot of goals. So that's
Right.
the focus of their team. If they can really hone in on that, if like they can, you know, continue to catch the unders, keep games low scoring, I think Ottinger is going to be a positive guy to own in fantasy for the rest of the season. I mean, there was a slow start there. They're trying to figure out their identity in net. I get it. I don't know why they added Brandon Holtby. That's just unnecessary. Ottinger was, you know, he wasn't playing this well last year, but there were times in those flashes that he had where you're just like, hey, this could be our guy, right? So hopefully they continue to ride him going forward. And like I said, like, you know, in general, Dallas is just constantly, you know, cashing the under, playing good defense. So it's a good spot to grab a goalie off of free agency for sure.
For sure.
All right, next we are going to move into our buy or sell segment. After that, we're going to jump into some live betting. If you haven't already, be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, first up, we've got Nasm Cadre. Across the past 2 weeks, Nasm Cadre is the second highest scoring fantasy producer. Buying or selling Nasm Cadre? Is this someone that you want to get in on, make some daylight, or sell while he is high, Nick?
I would absolutely buy him right now. Also, for the sole purpose that Nathan MacKinnon is not in the lineup right now, so he's getting a lot more minutes. And I was really angry that I picked him up kind of just as an ad drop player. As soon as I drop him, he starts picking up all these points, if you will. And you just look at his numbers like 11, 21, 24, 12, 31, 17, 15. Like, it just keeps going. Like, there's no reason not to hold this guy right now. And I don't really see what you can get in terms of a return necessarily if you're trying to sell high, because he's one of the highest point getters in the league right now with this recent point streak he's on. And so I think it's going to be tricky if you're going to try and get a 1-for-1 player. So I think if you do try and sell him, you got to get a package deal. But I wouldn't go down that road personally. I would say hold him until he gives you a reason not to.
Yeah, if you're targeting him, you're probably going to have to give up 2 players right now. I would suspect one trending player and then one guy that's been solid, you know, and that's really just if you have that depth. Like if you have that extra guy and you want to pull Cadre in because maybe you're feeling lucky like me and you just want to constantly be playing the wire, add drop. I'm with it because there's going to be these guys along the way that you can still just plug into your lineup for, you know, a week, 2 weeks, and they're going to stay on fire for that stretch. So, and then you just drop it and grab the next guy. So Cadre, I would definitely say is a buy. I don't think that this production is necessarily going to like spiral down, but I do expect a decline at some point when MacKinnon does come back, because he may not be playing alongside like Landeskog and Rantanen. You know, he may come down to the second line where he needs to kind of provide that offensive focus and not just kind of clean up and get the easy touches and clean up goals or whatever assists.
Right.
All right, next up, someone that we already referenced, Rupee Hintz of the Dallas Stars. He is number 13 in the NHL in total point production across the past 14 days. I think he's closer to a sell candidate. What do you think? We just got done talking about Dallas. They're not a team that, you know, reeks of offensive explosiveness. I feel like his production could, you know, tail out here soon.
Yeah, I think that's just, you hit it exactly right. Like, I think his production will tail out, and I think sure he's doing good right now, but once we get deeper into the season, I think that'll fall off because, like you said, Dallas is a more defensive-minded team. They don't score a lot of goals, and so yeah, for that reason, I'm just gonna say sell on Rupee Hintz because you can still get a high return on him right now. So I would try and get a return on him and have a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely try to pull something off. Flip Rupee for maybe a 1-for-1. Maybe you're looking for like a streaking goaltender or something like that. We'll have a couple of those up here soon. Next up, we have Pavel Buchnevich. Buchnevich is number 14 in total fantasy production across the past 2 weeks, across the past 14 days. Buy or sell? He's coming off 3 really good games. 2 goals in his last game, a goal before that. So he's got 4 goals in 3 games, a couple assists across that stretch. What do you think?
Yeah, right now, honestly, with Buchnevich, I would say sell because his return is growing for sure. And looking at his stat line, like the consistency is not necessarily developed yet. So for that reason, I would sell and try and get a mid return probably. And you could probably even snag him in some leagues. He's only 67% rostered right now. So if he's available, I would say grab him, plug him up. He does good. Try and sell high on him.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like he's kind of ridden the wave with the St. Louis Blues. Like we just mentioned earlier, they're 3-7 across their last 10. I mean, obviously the production's there his last 3 games, but you kind of see those slow nights. No goals, no assists, 0 for 2. No goals, no assists, +1. There are a couple of nights where he's under the 2 points. a couple of nights where he's under the 1 point. I would definitely say sell. 67% doesn't, necessarily, speak loudly to his body of work that everybody's in on him anyways. So yeah, if you have somebody that's willing to bite for Buchnevich, maybe the Blues fan in your league, I don't know, something like that, I would definitely try to work a selling option for him.
For sure.
Big name on this next one, Kale Mccarr of the Colorado Avalanche, 100% rostered, a little different. Number one in total fantasy production. That's not with defense. That's not with only forwards. It's the entire league. Number one across the past 2 weeks. Kale Mccarr, sell high?
Yeah, I think if you sell him at all, then you're going to get one hefty return, that's for sure, because Mccarr is one of the best defensemen in the league right now. Just looking at his numbers, like, it's just absurd for a defenseman to be putting up numbers like this. Like, you see 18, 30, 26, 13, 14, 20. And like numbers like that, I think he's another guy you're going to toss in him and probably a mid-level player, probably a first, second line player that you're just holding on your team, but you can get a high return for that. But for me, I would definitely say, yeah, sell him if you can, because the return's going to be mighty hefty.
And I don't think there's going to be another time where you can sell him and get such a big return. He had a 5-goal game streak as a defenseman. He had back-to-back games with multiple goals.
That just doesn't happen.
What? Yeah. I can't even think of the last defenseman to have such a run. No name comes to my mind. Like no one. Maybe Carlson, maybe. But I don't think so. I don't think he's had a run like that. It's wild. You could get back a starting forward and a starting defenseman. I don't know about a goal. I don't know about like a third, but you could get a very, very good 2-for-1 for Kale Mccarr right now. Definitely something to look into. Whoever Bardowski is in that league. All right, next up we got James Reimer. James Reimer is the number 6 goalie in total fantasy scoring across the last 14 days, across the past 2 weeks. He seems like a sell candidate to me. I don't trust the San Jose Sharks to keep up the solid production. He did have a shutout in his last game, 29 saves. Game before that, he did let in 4 goals, 3 goals the game before that. But even the 3-goal game, he got a win and he got 11 points. So it's like, that's life playing on the Sharks, I guess. The production looks very good. 27.4, the minus 420, not great, not solid. But prior to that, 11.6, 15.2, 14.4, 17.6. I'm still on a sell mode. What do you think?
Yeah, I think right now, for me, I just picked him up off free agency today, and for me personally, I'm going to see what happens with him. And yeah, maybe if this consistency keeps up, then he might be a solid sell candidate. But just based on his schedule too, like you got the Islanders, and you got the Rangers, the Blue Jackets, Calgary. Like he's got a tricky schedule. So I think if you are going to sell him, then you should do it soon, because I don't think he will have that much success in that upcoming schedule.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. I agree with you 1,000%. Kind of similar to the Kale Mccarr situation. I don't think you're going to have, a stretch of games where he just plays this well at any point for the rest of the season.
Right.
52% rostered may make it tough to sell him, but I think that you could get something back. Like if you're really hurting, maybe had a couple of guys go on IR, whatever it is. We've seen teams that, just bail on goalie. You had one at one point. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on there, but you had one. So you owning James Reimer, not surprised at all there. You absolutely need him. And if I were you, I would definitely hang on to him for a minute.
For sure.
All right, next up, we've got Robin Leonard. This is not a trending player. So Robin Leonard is the 21st ranked goaltender across the last 14 days. So I wanted to kind of, flip the script on this one. Like, is this a situation where you would buy low based on his poor production recently, because we would expect better days to come?
I think for sure you could buy low on Robin Leonard, not have to give up very much necessarily for him, because his numbers just really aren't there. Because you see, just looking at a stat line, like he let up 3 against Minnesota, 5 against St. Louis, had a couple games. Carolina, he let up 4. Vancouver, he let up 4. And fantasy wise, like I don't see him being a terrific guy that you would even hold on to necessarily. So yeah, I think you could probably sell him at a low return.
I think he's still going to finish like top 12, top 15. I feel like the team's going to get more healthy. The defense is going to be more healthy going forward. I mean, the last couple of games haven't been great. 3, 2, 5 goals, like we said. but the saves are there. 27, 26, 26, 26, 38, 39.
Mhm.
There's 25 plus across his last 3, 6, 9 starts. It's
Right.
very good. That's very, very good. If anything, there's probably too much opportunity on him right now. He's taking one. Well, I shouldn't even say one too many. So like an extra handful of shots he shouldn't be taking, to be honest. Like there's probably like 5 to 7 here. You know, when you look at the Golden Knights, they've been a team. We're not going to say completely defensive minded. They put up their fair share of offense, but they play and have played very good defense, you know, across the past couple of seasons here. So, you know, when I think of them, I think of like a very good two-way team. I would think, or I would have assumed coming into the season that Robin Leonard's numbers would have looked better or would look better, but that hasn't been the case. You just don't like to see the high amount of goals that are being scored on him. So I mentioned the saves, but you have to add in the goals against too, right? So 27 to 3, that gets you to 30. 26 to the 2 gets you to 28. 26 to 5 gets you to the 31. Like there's a lot of shots on net here. I do believe this team's going to figure it out. And I would look to grab Robin Leonard on a buy low situation because I think brighter days are coming. Anaheim, Arizona, Calgary, Dallas. I mean, some of those teams have been playing well, but I think that those are still very good matchups for the Knights. So I expect them to start getting better here going forward. I'll definitely take some shares of Robert Leonard here before that happens.
For sure.
All right, live betting. Let's jump into it. I have Detroit and Boston on. We're going to be heading out of the show here, so let's get to the action that has already started. Detroit, they're up 1-0. I had them at the plus 1.5, so I'm feeling really good about that. Boston was missing Brad Marchand. I don't know if you found out who else was missing. I know Linus Ullmark is in net. Nedeljkovic is in net for Detroit, and he's been absolutely on a tear recently. I'm trying to pull up the spread here. It's just loading. So right now we have still plus 1.5, but it's now in favor of the Bruins. That's paying my 323, so not a lot of value there, but it doesn't look like the books are expecting a lot of scoring. The total is now down to 4.5 goals with a 1-0 game. We're coming up on the halfway point of the second period. Who do you like for a winner here? Do you like the Bruins to cover, and do you like the over 4.5 goals?
Yeah, I would say I like the under actually 4.5 goals halfway through the second period. Two teams. Boston plays a really good defensive game. I think this will stay close, and yeah, I like the under here.
You know, I said I like, the Red Wings at the plus 1.5. I still like that pick. I think they're going to keep it close, but you know what? I don't hate taking the Bruins right now on the money line. It's getting you plus 125. They're down 1-0. They're out shooting the Red Wings 16-6.
Right.
What the hell? I mean, they're still bringing it here. I don't love that they're missing Marchand. I don't love Ullmark in net, but I still think that they can do it, and you're getting that plus option there. They just got their 17th shot on net. They're looking really good. A lot of puck possession in their end. I like the plus 125 here.
Yeah, I think, I could see the Bruins definitely pulling this one out too. Again, there's still plenty of time left. Boston's a good team. I think it could go either way.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Boston here. I think they're going to hold them off. Detroit's just not producing enough offense here. Playing great defense, though, keeping everything outside. So I like what I'm seeing there. Hopefully they can manage and cover the spread for me here. All right, next up, we've got the Sharks at the Devils. Woo! Thank goodness I stayed away from the Devils. I was this close. I was this close to taking a money line. They're down 2-0. Halfway through the second period, Sharks are big favorites to close this one out. Minus 556 in the money line. They're giving the Devils the plus 1.5 here. I don't know if I trust them to get back into it. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't really trust the Devils to get back into it necessarily. From what it looks like, San Jose is playing a pretty good game right now, to say the least. James Reimer's locking it down, especially for me in fantasy. He's got 17 saves so far tonight. And so, yeah, I'm loving San Jose to hold down the fort tonight and secure a dub.
The over is at 5.5 goals. I like the under. I like the under 5.5. I think that's another smash.
Yeah, especially because we're already like halfway through the game. So, yeah, I don't see there being that much more scoring production, to say the least. And, yeah, give me the under as well on that.
We need 4 more goals. We need 4 more. I don't see it coming. We've already gone halfway through the game, and we've only gotten 2. I'm laying live money on that right now. Give me that money. I'll place this bet here. I got to make sure it goes through. The other night you were here, and I put a bet through, and it didn't go through. Luckily, I lost, so that was great.
Yeah,
but still, I got to make sure these go through. That happened to me another time, and I hit it. Sportsbooks, they They have their ways. All right, next up here, we've got the Capitals at the Panthers. They're up 2-1 with 15 minutes left in the second, so a lot of offense here. I had the Capitals covering this one, feeling really good about this with the 1-goal lead. The Panthers are just not the same without Joe Quenneville. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Like, they were off to that amazing start, and the league just kind of took the wind out of their sails, took away their HC. What are you going to do? Money line right now, Capitals are -2 or -208 on the money line. I like that. Obviously, not the greatest value here. The goal total is at 6.5, though, Nick. Do you think the Panthers can cover the +1.5? And what do you like about the total?
Yeah, I think they can cover the +1.5 because it'll be a close game. And what'd you say the total was?
It's at 6.5 now. That's 7. So we still need another. We're at 3. We need another 4 goals, but there is plenty of time left.
Yeah, there's plenty of time, but the pace the game's going right now, I don't see them really going to the over. I think that'll stick to the under, and I think it'll be a very close game into the end. Just a lot of defensive hockey because both teams do really good playing that defensive game.
Right. All right, I agree with you. Let's go with that. I'll take the under 6.5 as well. Let's see. Coyotes and Wild just started. I think that was the last one. Yeah, these other games that have just started, we've already gone over. The Predators are up 1-0. Hopefully the Blue Jackets can get back into it. We still have them on the +1.5. Well, it's not my best bet, so I don't care. Lightning is up 3-0. The under is not looking great. But Binnington, he sucks. He stinks. Cash the under. F the Blues. That's all we got, folks. You got anything to close it down with, Nick?
No, not really. Just look forward to next week. More hockey going on this week. Gives us a lot more to talk about.
Yes, sir. Check back with us next Tuesday. Me and Nick will be here giving our picks, getting into the fantasy discussion. We'll also be back Friday with fantasy basketball and Sunday with fantasy football. Take care. Be well. Be good. And if you can't be good at it. We'll see you.